How do you get this country to Singapore when on the other side of the world, he was busy saying how we are doing load shedding? This guy must go and he must leave. And if he's to leave, he should leave now because he has no capacity to assist this country realize its potentiality. When you're exporting the so-called labor, and you're not encouraging manufacturing and you're not encouraging the retaining of the curriculum vitae, what are you then telling us? How does this country become a Singapore? This country will not come a Singapore by mere speeches. It will not become a Singapore by making trips or associating yourself by Singapore. Actions must be taken. The rule of law must be implemented. The doctrine of constitutionalism must be implemented. And I have told all the principals in the United Opposition, any person who comes to address us on his manifesto and he does not speak about I think the question of the first world debate, I don't consider it as a hype, neither do I see hope. I consider it as purely theatrics and a presentation by a man who does not understand what he has been called for and whom he is supposed to serve. It looks to me that this is a man who is out to hype himself and project himself as the best thing ever happened in Kenya after the sliced bread. William Ruto does not understand what it takes to make this country a first world. Because if he does understand, he should have taken the script or taken cue from what Kwan Yew did in Singapore. Kwan Yew, first of all, inculcated values in people. Then on those values, therefore, he started building on them. But what does William Ruto do? Even when the Constitution itself has laid down these values under Article 10, which is invited in Parliament annually to come and address how the country has been able to achieve these values, William Ruto does not understand, and he thinks it's his moment to shine. I don't know whom he thinks he's competing with because he's currently and unfortunately the president. William Ruto was supposed to address the entire composite of Article 10. He was to address us on how the country has achieved transparency, how the country has enhanced accountability, how the country has dealt with the question of social justice, how the country has dealt with the question of equity, human rights, the rule of law, democracy, the people's participation, and sustainable development. Those are the issues he was supposed to address the country on. But he went on a frolic of his own and thinking that the country would be interested in listening to his fictitious and unfounded allegations of numbers. And that is a tragedy that this country faces. Any person who thinks that this country should take off from where we are the only thing he needs to do is to step and seek leave and clave on Article 10. Article 10 is an article that, if implemented, then this country can take the route in which William Ruto is dreaming to. Unfortunately, William Ruto does not have the wherewithal or the ability to lead us to what he's speaking about. And that's why I agree with Western when he says it was meant for political convenience. He was setting pace for future lies when it comes to 2027. When you listen to what he said in Parliament, look at the question of the sovereign funds. How does this country establish it? Do we have the legal infrastructure to establish it? Do we even have the source of it? How do you get this country to Singapore when on the other side of the world, he was busy saying how we are doing load shedding? This guy must go and he must leave. And if he's to leave, he should leave now because he has no capacity to assist this country realize its potentiality. When you're exporting the so-called labor, and you're not encouraging manufacturing and you're not encouraging the retaining of the curriculum vitae, what are you then telling us? How does this country become a Singapore? This country will not come a Singapore by mere speeches. It will not become a Singapore by making trips or associating yourself by Singapore. Actions must be taken. The rule of law must be implemented. The doctrine of constitutionalism must be implemented. And I have told all the principals in the United Opposition, any person who comes to address us on his manifesto and he does not speak about the Constitution being the premises of his Constitution or of his manifesto, then that person does not understand where we need to be or where we need to go. I have time and again insisted, and Professor Naituli is my witness, that this country does not need an elaborate manifesto. We have a manifesto called the 2010 Constitution, which can make us realize our potentiality. I have also informed all the principals, and I have shared this with them, the speech that was recently made by the president of Namibia when he was sacking the deputy prime minister. I have told them, if you think that you have the ability to govern this country and to make it realize its potential, that is the political potential, the economic potential, and the social potential, you must listen to that speech. Again, he must also leave from what Kibaki and His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka were able to do with the Vision 2030. If we stuck to that route, today we would be saying we have begun taking the route towards Singapore. I am not here to plead hopelessness. I am here to say that we need to have a government that realizes the reason why it is in power. How can William Ruto come to address us and he fails to tell us how human rights has been achieved? Because he cannot address that because he is the greatest perpetrator. He is the greatest violator. You know, and look at the parliament that's supposed to oversight the implementation of the Constitution and the realization of our aspirations and dreams. All what they are saying is two-term. We guys and comrades, we are in for a road shock, and we must begin to think on how we are going to realize our potential. Thank you so much, Dibar. See you next Sunday. I will.
Thank you so much, Ndegwa, for those comments, and we look forward to seeing how also what will happen in Mbere and North as well.